Hello, my dear children. In this video, we will continue with the same chapter, The Mask, paragraph number 16. Rajan Babu doesn't know that his son is in town, said Tankori Babu. And I don't think he should be told. After all, he's already had one shock. And so, Prabir has a motive to threaten his father, interrupted Feluda. Now the case had reached the stage where it had three such suspects, but no culprit yet. Then something very frightening happened. So, in paragraph number 16, 17, 18, and 19, it says that Tenkori Babu shows his concern that Rajan Babu should not know that his son Prabir is in town because he was already in shock and he should not know anything else that would give him stress. And Feluda again raises his doubt on Prabir and he says that he has got motive to threaten his father. Why? Because Rajan Babu abandoned his son Prabir when he saw Prabir stealing. So now Feluda has got three suspects. First, Dr. Phoni Mitra, second, Mr. Ghoshal, and third, Prabir. After all this, something very frightening happened. Now let's see paragraph number 20. One morning we received a message that Rajan Babu wanted to see us urgently and we rushed to his house. We found him laying down looking pale and haggard. Dr. Mitra was by his side examining him and Tankori Babu was fanning him. Rajan Babu spoke with some difficulty. Last night, after midnight, I woke up suddenly and there it was, face, masked face. Yes, I saw a masked face. It bent over me. It was horrible. Rajan Babu continued. I can't tell you how I spent the night. So, what happens here? When Rajan Babu was asleep a night before, someone came to him and masked himself and bent over him to frighten Rajan Babu. And because of this incident, Rajan Babu was unable to sleep, and that made him look white and tired because he was worried and didn't sleep at all. So he looked pale and haggard. He told everything to everyone. Now, see paragraph number 22. Take it easy, said the doctor. You need complete rest. Dr. Mitra, Feluda said suddenly. Did you go out last night? Your jacket's got a streak of mud on it. Yes, I did, to see a patient, replied Dr. Mitra. So, as you know, that Feluda already suspected Dr. Phoni Mitra, and there, while Dr. Phoni Mitra was examining Rajan Babu, he saw, Feluda saw a mark of mud on Dr. Phoni Mitra's jacket, and he questioned him that if he went out last night, to which Dr. Phoni Mitra replied that he went out to see his patients. Now let's see paragraph 25. Feluda waited for the doctor to leave and then asked Rajan Babu, what did the mask look like? It was like one of those you see on the wall there. The mask, he pointed out, was most horrendous. So when Dr. Mitra left, Feluda asked Rajan Babu, what did the mask look like? And Rajan Babu showed a mask. As you know that he was fond of collecting masks, daggers and old paintings. So a mask was there on the wall and he showed to that mask saying that it looked like that, and that mask was extremely bad. Horrendous means extremely bad. Then Gori Babu came in after seeing the doctor off and said to us, I'm sorry, but I have to return to Calcutta today. I tried to change my ticket, but they said I can't get a booking for another 10 days. But before I leave, I will inform the police. Rajan Babu needs protection. Fellow Babu, you can continue with your investigation. Nobody will object to that. So, in this paragraph, then Kori Babu is saying that he has to return to Calcutta today, and he also tried to change his tickets, but he couldn't get booking for another 10 days. And he assured that before leaving, he will inform the police as Rajan Babu needs protection and Feluda can continue with his investigation. Feluda and I decided to stay that night at Rajan Babu's house. We then went out separately on our work for the rest of the day and got back in the evening to find Rajan Babu much better. He showed us to our room. Now, I, here who is I in this paragraph? Topshe. As you know, that Topshe is the narrator of the story. So Feluda and Topshe decided to stay that night with Rajan Babu as he was alone at home. One by one, they both went out for their work and got back in evening. And by the time they were back, Rajan Babu was in a much better condition, and Rajan Babu also showed them their room. Feluda stretched out on the bed and said, I did some investigation in the afternoon, and both Prabir and Ghoshal were at a party from 9 pm to 3 am. That man wearing a mask came here soon after midnight, didn't he? I asked. Yes, said Feluda, and left the room abruptly. So Feluda laid on the bed and confirms that both Prabir and Ghoshal were at a party from 9 pm to 3 am. Topshe asks a question that the man wearing a mask came after the midnight. Feluda confirmed this and he left the room abruptly means suddenly, unexpectedly. Okay. I lay on the bed and must have dozed off. I woke up with a jolt when I sensed the presence of someone else in the room. My blood froze. I opened my eyes and saw something coming towards me. Oh, how horrible it was! A mask, a masked face. Here Topshe says that he was on his bed and he was sleeping, and he woke up suddenly when he sensed someone is there in the room, and he was extremely cold out of fear. And when he opened his eyes, what did he see? He saw a masked face, and that was horrible. I opened my mouth to scream when the person wearing the mask pulled it away, and my scream became a nervous gasp. Feluda, oh my God, it's you. Of course, it's me. He raised the mask. I was trying on all the masks in the living room. Why don't you wear this one for a second? He passed me his mask. I wore it. Can you sense something unusual? Why? No. It's a size too large for me, that's all. So Feluda was so scared that he almost opened his mouth to scream. And then the person who was wearing the mask removed it, and when Topshe realized that the person wearing mask is Feluda, he didn't scream but he breathed heavily. Gasp means breathing heavily out of nervousness, and he said, Feluda, oh my God, it's you. So Feluda assures him, of course it's me. And he raised the mask. And he said that he was just trying on all the masks in the living room. Feluda also asked Topshe to try the mask, the one Feluda was wearing, and asks him that if he can find something wrong with it. Topshe says that he can't find anything wrong except that it is too large for him. Think carefully. Isn't there anything that might strike you as odd? Well, there's a faint smell, I think. Of what? Chirrut? Exact. So finally, Feluda got a proof here. He tells Topshe to think carefully if there is something odd. To which Topshe says that, okay, there is a faint smell. Faint smell means a smell that is not clear, very light smell of something. Feluda asks, of what? What smell? Topshe, not very surely, but he guesses, Chirut. Feluda says, exactly. My heart started to beat faster again. Then Kori Babu? I stammered. Feluda sighed. Yes, I'm afraid so. But what I do not understand is his motive. He seemed to respect Rajan Babu a lot. Why then did he do something like this? Perhaps we shall never know. Rajan Babu was absolutely shaken when he told him about this the next morning. As we were talking, Rajan Babu received a letter. He opened it with trembling hands and read it aloud. So Feluda is not able to understand that what was the motive behind Tinkori Babu's such action. He was not able to understand because he thought that Tinkori Babu respected Rajan Babu a lot. And he was also saying that he will never be able to know the reason behind that because Tinkori Babu had already gone back to Calcutta. Next day, when Rajan Babu, Feluda, and Topshe all were sitting together, and Topshe and Feluda were telling everything to Rajan Babu, that time Rajan Babu received a letter and he was so scared that with trembling hands he read the letter aloud. And it said, Dear Raju, if you are wondering who I am and why I did this, here is the story. I am the boy whom you had tripped in that 100-yard race on our sports day 50 years ago. I not only missed the medal in that race, but was also seriously injured. Unfortunately, my father got transferred to a different town soon after the incident, and I never got a chance to have a showdown with you. So you never realized how deeply you had hurt me, both physically and mentally. I didn't know about you till I came to stay in your house and saw your childhood photograph. And then I thought of doing something that would cause you a great deal of anxiety and trouble you for a short time. I meant to do no harm. This was my way of punishing you for your past sins. Now that it's over, let's forget about it and move on with our lives. With good wishes, yours sincerely, Tinu Tinkori Mukhopadhyaya. So, with this letter, it was sure that the person who was trying to threaten Rajan Babu was no one else but Tinkori Babu. And he did all this just to take a revenge on Rajan Babu. Why? Because in childhood, Rajan Babu, while participating in 100-yard race, Rajan Babu had tripped Tinkori Babu in a 100-yard race on sports day. And this incident happened 15 years ago. And because of this, Tinkori Babu missed his medal and also he was physically and mentally injured. And when soon after this incident, Tinkori Babu's father got transferred and Tinkori Babu never get a chance show his disagreement with Rajan Babu, and Rajan Babu never actually realized that how deeply Tinkori Babu was affected because of this. And Tinkori Babu actually did not know that this is the same person until he saw a childhood photograph of Rajan Babu. And then Kori Babu thought to teach Rajan Babu a lesson and he punished him in this way. He also said that now it's over and he said to forget whatever happened and move with their lives. So I hope you have understood this chapter. What do you learn from this chapter, children? Sometimes, in order to win in our lives, we are so much engrossed with the thought to win that we forget to realize if we are hurting anyone. Same thing happened here. Rajan Babu, in order to win the race, he cheated. And because of this cheating, Tinkori Babu was deeply hurt, not only physically but also mentally. And you see, children, sometimes the unintentional wounds that we give to people leaves a deep scar in their mind, in their heart. So what we should try not to hurt anyone intentionally or unintentionally. Second thing, here Tankori Babu, what he did, 50 years old revenge he is taking now. Is that good? No. Taking revenge is never good. If ever you find something wrong, if ever you feel that something wrong has happened, what you should do? You should try to talk to that person and express how you feel. What you need to do is first you sit and meditate over the matter. Think over the matter, that what's the problem, why does this happen? Try to know why that person has done something. Maybe you are not able to see that person's side. You're not able to understand his or her intention. And if still something worries you, go to that person and talk rather than doing nasty things to take revenge. That's all for today, children. If there is anything that is not clear to you, please ask. Thank you.